Well, we were talking about Maharashtra before we slipped into the break. We went across to our reporter Radhika there in Mumbai, who was saying that Piyush Goyal is the only one who seems to be having a lead there in Mumbai. The real story of Maharashtra and the numbers that are on your screen, the INC leading in about 11, the BJP leading only in about 11. Those are the INDIA, NDA numbers, Rishika, but
yes,
the split of it from the Election Commission website and our website, that you see there. BJP leading in 11, down 12. Congress leading in 11, up 10.
Yes.
Shiv Sena, Uddhav Bhai Thackeray, 10 plus 5. What's the real message, Amitabh Tiwari, here in Maharashtra? One is that the original Sena and the original NCP seems to be holding out, but the Congress is also doing very well.
Yeah, I mean, it was believed that the BJP is likely to hold on to its share and the allies, which is NCP, Ajit Pawar and Shinde Sena, are likely to suffer losses. However, as per initial trends and these numbers which we are showing, it is the BJP also which is losing up to 50% of its seats. So it seems as of now that the rural districts and agri districts in parts of Vidarbha and Marathwada, the Maratha community anger is reflecting in these results clearly, because last time both Marathas and OBCs has voted significantly in favor of the NDA alliance, and as you said, the numbers show that in the battle of legacy, the Marathi Manus and the traditional supporters are backing Thackeray and Sharad Pawar.
Would it be fair, maybe across to Sanjay Kumar as well, to say that the BJP, the Congress has been able to take on the BJP, and the original, the Sharad Pawar Sena has been able to reiterate, Sharad Pawar NCP has been able to reiterate its position, and the Uddhav Bhai Thackeray Sena has been able to reiterate its hold?
Generally, yes, but I think, let me give you a bigger picture. What accounts for BJP's losses in many states, which will also include Maharashtra. I think the sense that when there are so many defections from other parties and people coming and joining BJP, so the image nationally of BJP has gone down. In a sense, there is a image that BJP is no more the same kind of a party, and that has happened a lot in Maharashtra. So that has also, I think, dented not only the image, electoral prospects of the BJP partners, but also the BJP, which we can see right now in the leads. We will get to know finally by the evening how many seats BJP won. But I think there is a clear indication that BJP is heading for losses in Maharashtra.
All right. Well, just speaking of what you said about the fact that there was palpable anger or agrarian distress, rural distress that was discounted. What our own data shows as far as the strike rate of the BJP, or the NDA rather, in rural India is concerned, it's a over 12% fall. And if you look at the comparison of the India bloc, or if you look at the comparison of those parties coming together, it was in India at that point in time, from 19% in 2019, it has now risen to 40%. And
it's
this
a fascinating
is just
point that you're making.
Yes, this
there,
is
Rishika.
just data that we have in our own internal systems as of about half an hour ago, the last I checked. So this is, I think, something which is very, very interesting. But I'm told we have to shift our focus to the all-important state of Uttar Pradesh. As we always say, Uttar Pradesh is the most important, and that's been the biggest stunner as far as this election is concerned. Tanishq is joining us with the very latest. So Tanishq, we caught you smiling, but where are you? It's very hot. You were saying it's finally raining on the last day of this hot election, but I see that the sun is out once again.
It seems like, Rishika, it seems like both the weather and the results are giving a surprise. But again, too early to say anything. There's still many rounds left for counting. But I'm right now outside the Samajwadi Party office. The workers have already started, gathering here slowly. There were, of course, some sweets being distributed. There you could see they are now the sweet boxes are now littering on the ground. But yes, there were, of course, sweets being distributed, and party workers, the party workers are slowly gathering here. Akhilesh Yadav's house is just around 200 meters away from here. But yes. India bloc currently, leading on around 40 seats here in Uttar Pradesh. But talking about I would like to talk about Congress here. Congress is currently leading on about 8 to 9 seats, on which, of course, you can hear the slogans of the Samajwadi Party. But yes, talking about Congress is leading on around 8 to 9 seats, out of which around 4 seats, Saharanpur, Amethi, Raebareli, all these 3 to 4 seats are being led with a strong margin, more than 40,000, 30,000, 40,000 margin. Especially Saharanpur also. Raebareli, of course, it is Rahul Gandhi. In Amethi, it is KL Sharma. All these seats, and one more seat, of course, Barabanki, where PL Punya's son Tanuj Punya is contesting elections. So, of course, there is a very high possibility that Congress could increase its tally this time in Uttar Pradesh, whereas in 2019 it was able to get only 1 Lok Sabha seat. There is a hope for Congress in Uttar Pradesh that it could increase its tally here in UP, with, of course, in alliance with the Samajwadi Party. But yes, if these trends, transfer into results, it could be the UP could be the story of the day, because no one would have actually predicted that the India bloc could get these many seats here in Uttar Pradesh. The exit polls predicted around 68 seats for the Samajwadi Party. Yes.
Okay, you make that point.
Absolutely.
You're smartly dressed at the moment in blue. You may have to change to red. Now that you're at the Samajwadi Party, you've got the red mic with you.
You've got some red
we
going.
could see all the action going out. But important point that you made there about Amethi and Raebareli. Neerja also joins us in the studio here. Very quickly, Neerja, when we see that number on the screen, I'll have to go across to Lavanya Balal and Tuhin Sinha as well. But when you see that number on the screen, quickly, 241 for the BJP, down 62. It's early trends still. I mean, we'll wait for them to firm up in terms of final number. But is UP making the difference potentially at the end of the day between a 272 or not?
Absolutely. UP has overturned this election. And nobody, not even the Samajwadi Party senior leaders, expected this kind of a tally. And I think the experiment that they did of widening their social base from beyond MY Muslim Yadav to bringing in smaller OBCs, which has worked because they gave them many tickets. And remember, the Dalits for the first time are believed to have voted for the Samajwadi Party. They gave Dalit tickets, and I think this charge so far has turned out to be counterproductive, because it fueled the fears in the Dalits that Arakshan might go, the reservation may be taken away from them. So they have obviously, in Maharashtra also, it's become a combination of Maratha, Muslim and Mahar, the Dalit. That is an old winning combination of the Congress party. And I think also here, also in Bihar, I think Tejasvi has done well with a similar kind of realignment of forces.
Ultimately, Rishika, it does look like a victory of the INDIA alliance and its cohesion at the grassroots. The fact that they were
Cohesion
able
and
to-
social base of that they are
But
now
look at the numbers of
crafting.
the Samajwadi Party at the moment, Veera. It's 36.
That's right.
They're leading
No,
at
look, the
36.
point
They're
is-
the third largest party.
No, last hour we were just discussing, is this cohesion between two parties, or is it cohesion between the two leaders?
No, I think it's more than that.
Or is it a vote against the BJP? I think that's
Yeah, I think that's a very
an
important
important
point.
question that we need to look at.
No, these questions have been was being discussed, that when the two parties form an alliance, how much transfer of vote will take place. And I think I have said it a couple of times that this is an election which people are fighting. So there's no question of vote not getting transferred. In other elections, we see degree of transfer, 88,
But the fact
70%.
that this election was fought on Ram and Rashan.
It was not
Rishika,
for
Neither has Ram worked nor has Rashan.
I'm sorry,
No.
Rishika.
As far as UP is
since you
concerned.
No,
mentioned-
not at all. BJP tried to fight this election on Ram, but it didn't turn into an election on Ram Mandir.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're saying that. Let's go across to the KC Tyagi of the JDU joins us as well. As I mentioned earlier, Lavanya Balal, Jain of the Congress, as well as Tuhin Sinha of the BJP. But Mr. Tyagi, Bihar, JDU seems to be holding out.
Yes.
मैं अपनी दोस्त निर्जा चौधरी के स्टेटमेंट को करेक्ट करना चाहता हूं। बिहार में तेजस्वी यादव का कोई करिश्मा नहीं है। सिर्फ 5 सीटों पे अभी तक द मोमेंट वी आर टॉकिंग टू यू उनकी लीड है, और 35 सीटों पर एनडीए गठबंधन लीड कर रहा है, जिसमें नीतीश कुमार जिसको आप रिजेक्ट कर चुके थे, जिसको आप आउट कर चुके थे, जिसको निर्जा जी भी कह चुकी थी रिटर्न ऑफ है, वो 16 में से 15 सीटों पर लीड कर रहे हैं। और ये व्यक्ति नहीं है, ये विचार है जो कर्पूरी ठाकुर तक मेरी दोस्त नीरजा जानती हैं, जिन्होंने महिलाओं के एम्पावरमेंट के लिए वहाँ की पुलिस में 35% महिलाएं हैं, जो देश में कहीं भी नहीं है। कोई लड़की नहीं है जो पढ़ना चाहते जिसपे साइकिल नहीं है। और जो मुंगेरी लाल कमीशन था 1978 में, जो कर्पूरी ठाकुर ने इम्प्लीमेंट किया था कि पिछड़ों में जो अति पिछड़े हैं उनका एम्पावरमेंट होना चाहिए। जातिगत जनगणना जो हुई है उसमें 36% आबादी, जिसको दिल्ली में बैठे लोग जातिवादी संस्करण बताते हैं, उनकी संख्या आई है। तो नीतीश कुमार पॉलिटिकली विंडिकेट हुआ है। उसको लेकर के मीडिया में, पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स में किस तरह की विस्परिंग और किस तरह की गंदगी, मैं आप लोगों से पूछना चाहता हूं, कौन ऐसी पार्टी है जिसने अलाई नहीं बदले? नेम वन। नीतीश कुमार बदले पलटू राम, अब बड़ी बड़ी पार्टियां बदलें तो आदर्शवादी। तो ये जो आपके ये जो थे आपके ऑब्जर्वेशन सब गलत साबित हुए। आज जेडीयू एनडीए गठबंधन की नंबर 2 की पार्टी है जो 15 सीटों पर लीड कर रही है। और कोई हमारे स्टैंड में चेंज नहीं है। पूरे चुनाव में नीतीश कुमार जी कहते रहे कि हम एनडीए में हैं और एनडीए में रहेंगे।
यही मेरा अगला सवाल होने वाला था।
लिहाजा तो जो आप
ये मेरा अगला सवाल होने वाला था, अब आपने आंसर कर दिया। नीरजा जी आपसे एक और सवाल पूछना
मैं
चाहती हूँ।
केसी त्यागी जी से एक 2 सवाल पूछना चाहती हूँ। मैं पूछ लूँ क्या? मैं अभी सोच रही थी त्यागी जी कि मान लीजिए अगर नीतीश कुमार इंडिया की साइड में होते तो क्या बिहार का आज परिणाम जिस तरह से हम देख रहे हैं क्या बहुत अलग होता और क्या इंडिया सरकार बनाने की स्थिति में हो सकती थी? सवाल नंबर 1। दूसरा सवाल है, ये बहुत
नीतीश कुमार
कल बहुत रूमर था कि नीतीश कुमार जी प्रधानमंत्री से मिले और क्या वो दिल्ली लाए जाएंगे कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर बना के और कोई और भाजपा का चीफ मिनिस्टर रहेगा बिहार में?
नीरजा जी आपने अच्छा किया ये सवाल छेड़ दिया। नीतीश कुमार जी इंडिया गठबंधन के पायनियर हैं और फाउंडर हैं। कांग्रेस पार्टी अनटचेबल पार्टी थी आम आदमी पार्टी के लिए, अखिलेश यादव के लिए, बीआरएस के लिए, ममता बनर्जी के लिए। नीतीश कुमार के मैराथन एफर्ट्स के बाद ही पटना में राहुल गांधी जी के बराबर में केजरीवाल बैठे, दूसरी तरफ ममता दीदी बैठी और बाजू में अखिलेश यादव बैठे। ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ नीतीश कुमार की मेहनत का नतीजा था। 6 महीने तक कोई मीटिंग नहीं होती है और वो सब लोगों को थका करके अपना नेतृत्व थोपना चाहते थे। अशोका होटल की बैठक में, नीरजा जी हमसे सुनिए आप जरा, अशोका होटल की बैठक में राहुल गांधी कहते नीतीश जी आपके नाम पर ममता दीदी तैयार नहीं है, इनके नाम पर कौन तैयार है? तो जिस तरह से ये लीडरशिप को रिडिकूल करते हैं तो हम कोई कम अपमानित नहीं हुए। अच्छा, कन्वीनर क्या होता है हम 50 साल से देख रहे हैं, वो टेलीफोन करके मीटिंग बुलाता है। प्रधानमंत्री के लिए मुंबई में तय हो गया था कि प्रधानमंत्री का कोई चेहरा नहीं होगा, लिहाजा नीतीश कुमार के प्रधानमंत्री बनने का सवाल ही पैदा नहीं होते। और जिस दिन तक नीतीश कुमार इंडी गठबंधन में थे 400 सीटों पे 1 अगेंस्ट 1 का फॉर्मूला तय हो गया था। उनके हटते ही ताश के पत्तों की तरह से बिखर गया। एक दूसरा, कल प्रधानमंत्री से वो मिले हैं, दिल्ली में आए थे, वो अपनी आँख का कई बार चेकअप कराने के लिए, वो दिल्ली में आँख का ऑपरेशन कराने या दिखाने आते हैं, दिल्ली को आँख दिखाने नहीं आते। इसको करेक्ट किया जाए।
आपने बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग बातें बोली है, लेकिन
जनता के
one second. I want to just introduce Lavanya Balal of the Congress with us, Akshay Marathe of the Aam Aadmi Party, and Tuhin Sinha of the BJP. We also have Deven Choksi with us to get us a sense of what's happening in the market. So, you know, we're going to come right back to you in a
Quickly,
moment.
one question, Rishika, if you can put that across to Mr. Tyagi. Mr. Tyagi, very quickly, would Nitish Kumar have had, given the kind of results that's come, and I'm rephrasing Nirja's question, would Nitish Kumar have had a better chance or a far more powerful position had he been with the India Alliance?
No, we are very comfortable in NDA. There is no question of our going back. We have seen the kind of politics Congress party leaders
So
did.
you say now-
What kind of speeches were made by Jairam Ram Ramesh.
Okay, so you say now, and we'll take it at that. Sabita Srinivas.
I mean, I want to just add to what K. Tyagi ji said. See, both Deve Gowda and Nitish Kumar wanted to be part of the India alliance.
Yes.
Nirja ji even wrote a big piece at that time when the negotiations were happening. Both of them were insulted. If they were on the other side, I think India would have formed the government this time.
So
Yes.
let's take that
Well,
across
whose
to-
loss is it more? I
Yeah,
think that's
right.
the important question.
that
Whose
you're
loss
making.
is it
Let's
more?
take that to Lavanya Malal. Lavanya, losing JDU here in Bihar, was that, did the Congress push Nitish Kumar away because he wanted to be the convener of the INDIA alliance, and he was one of the first few people to really bolster that INDIA meeting which we saw in
Yes.
Bengaluru. So,
Pune.
in hindsight, how do you see this?
With Nitish Kumar, I think we would have had a better number right now. I mean, at this point of time, it is halfway through the counting. We would have had better numbers at this point of time, but I wouldn't like to jump the gun because there are more than 100 seats where the lead of the BJP is about 10,000 or less than 10,000, which can swing either way for both India Alliance or the NDA. So I would not want to comment about is it a loss for India Alliance? I wouldn't say that, but would it have helped India Alliance better if those numbers were with us? Yes, definitely, of course. It would have strengthened India Alliance further if we had Nitish Kumar with us. But I do see a lot of BJP senior leaders commenting about Nitish Kumar may or may not be with NDA. I do not know what is their source of this information, but I see that on Twitter they are discussing. It is the BJP leaders who are discussing that Nitish Kumar may not stay back with the NDA.
All right, we have Akshay Marathe also joining us. Akshay, so far it does appear to be pretty comfortable for the BJP leading in all 7 seats across Delhi. At least that's what the Election Commission is telling us. How are you looking at the numbers so far?
First of all, I want to start off by saying that the BJP getting reduced to less than the 272 mark is a major victory against dictatorship in this country. Arvind Kejriwal ji campaigned hard across the country. He was out on bail, remember, only 21 days for campaigning. And he went across the country and his one single message was, if the BJP is allowed to come back to power with the numbers that they wanted, 400 par, that would be the death of democracy. And I'm so happy today that Indians have voted in large numbers against the BJP's arrogance and hubris. And this is not to suggest that India Alliance has won and we have crossed the 272 mark, but you remember the fact that the NDA allies also know that the BJP is very dangerous for them. If you look at the BJP's own track record when it comes to their relationship with allies, whether it's Akali Dal, whether it's Shiv Sena, NCP, there is a very good chance that now that the winds are blowing in the other direction, the allies will feel emboldened to actually switch sides and form an India Alliance government. And I think the movement in that direction might already be happening in the background. But let's wait and watch. I'm not trying to jump the gun.
But
we are hopeful that the India
this alliance of convenience is also, Veera, if you just look at the numbers in Punjab, the Congress leading in 7, Aam Aadmi Party in 3. There was no alliance between the two in Punjab, but there was an alliance in Haryana and in Delhi. So it's also played up in a convenient way. Nitish Kumar dropped, Mamata Banerjee didn't work out. Had the India alliance perhaps made a more concerted effort to keep its bloc together, this verdict would have been very different.
No, but Mamata has held her own in West Bengal. Nitish has held his own. Yes, you're right. They had more allies. Their numbers could be more. But Tuhin, at the moment when you see these numbers, what's the big worry? Is it the NDA number at 293 or is it the BJP number at 238, down 65? What's the big worry for the BJP at the moment?
Still about 2-3 hours to go before the final numbers emerge. Definitely these numbers are not in sync with what the exit polls had projected just 3 days ago. So I think, the exit polls also probably got it wrong. It is not in sync with our Sankalp of 400 seats. But having said that, I don't see any problem in the BJP forming a very comfortable majority. In fact, by the time the counting is completed, BJP will be in the vicinity of 272 seats. So I don't think there is any issue at all. But yes, I mean, UP is a surprise. We continue to sweep Madhya Pradesh. We continue to sweep Gujarat. The results in Bihar seem to be phenomenal. In fact, we are breaking new geographical ground in Orissa, where we seem to be getting 17 seats. So I don't, in sports there is a term called the law of averages. The law of averages sometimes catch up with you, but I don't see it having any impact on the future government, which will be a BJP government-led government.
The only state that seems to be bringing smiles for the BJP is Odisha. The rest of it seems to have been big trouble, whether it's Maharashtra or Uttar Pradesh, even Rajasthan, all seems to be big trouble for the BJP. Lavanya, in your own home state of Karnataka, the Congress seems to be holding up to 10, 11 seats at the moment.
Yeah. We always said we will get double digits. 2019 we were reduced to 1 seat in Karnataka, which was really surprising and really hurtful for us. But this time we are reaching double digits, and that's what we were hoping for. We were looking around 14 seats was our expectation. So if we reach around 12 also, it's a great improvement for us. But at 20 would have been great. Of course, it is our desire to be at 20, but we are not reaching 20. I don't think so. But I would like to reiterate, India bloc still has a great chance, because overall in more than 100 seats, the BJP is leading with less than 10,000 votes, and that can swing any way for India Alliance. So I would not want to jump the gun. I would still like to wait till about 4 or 5 p.m. in the evening.
None of us want to jump the gun. We will wait till the end, because this seems to be an election that's going to go down the wire, and we're going to be busy, Rishika, till late in the evening. I believe we can go across to Mr. Nagendra Mohan Krishna of the BJP at the moment. Sir, the trends at the moment, the way you see it on television screens, what's your big worry, or what's your sense?
Veer Raghav, there is no sense of worry or anything. We are confident that we are forming the government for the third term. That you are missing, and everybody is talking about BJP's downfall from 272 to 238, 240, just as you rightly said seconds before.
All right, sir.
That you may have to wait till
interrupt you. We have Anurag Thakur who's speaking. Let's just listen and we'll come right back to you.
अब में काफी गैप है, और कुल मिला के जो हमारा एनडीए गठबंधन है उसको भारी बढ़त बाकियों से बनाई हुई और आगे भी बनी रहेगी।
अनुराग जी, लगातार 5वीं जीत की तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं, तो जिम्मेदारी और बढ़ गई आपकी।
मैं जनता का आभारी हूं जिन्होंने 5वीं बार हमीरपुर संसदीय क्षेत्र से अब तक भारी बढ़त दिलाई है। आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने, आदरणीय राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जगत प्रकाश नड्डा जी ने, आदरणीय गृह मंत्री अमित भाई ने, सभी पार्टी के वरिष्ठ नेताओं ने बहुत विश्वास हर बार व्यक्त किया, और मुझे पूर्ण आशा है कि उनकी उम्मीदों पर हम लोग खरा उतरे भी हैं। रिजल्ट हिमाचल प्रदेश का और हमीरपुर संसदीय क्षेत्र का भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पक्ष में है, और देश में भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी एनडीए की सरकार बनेगी।
Right. That was Anurag Tiwari there. Anurag Thakur yes. There, sending out his message. Mr. Nagendra Mohan
He's
Krishna.
leading from Hamirpur quite comfortably. But interesting, just sorry to interrupt you there, but Kangana is also leading from Mandi. She's been leading, I think, from the very beginning. Vikram Aditya of the Congress trailing, and Anand Sharma is also trailing. So I think it's advantage to the BJP as far as Haryana, as far as Himachal Pradesh is concerned.
That's right. Important points that you're making there, Rishika. Mr. Krishna, going back to the question that I asked you, what's your bigger worry? The number of the BJP on the screen right now is 238. NDA is at 293, well past 272, but BJP at 238. Which is your bigger worry?
Veer Raghav, I am smiling. We are coming back to the power for the third term. What more you require? People across the country, they have faith in BJP more than the India alliance, what they have made. They have given guarantees to the people. People might have voted for the guarantees. After this election, see, let me tell you one thing. जब दीप बुझते हैं ना, उसका पहले बहुत ज्वाला आते हैं. ऐसे ही इंडी का ज्वाला आ रहा है, ये ज्वाला बुझ जाएगा. ये ज्वाला बुझ जाएगा. In Karnataka, we have showed it. They gave the guarantees.
So
they made all kind of they utilize the machineries.
So
I think
you're,
that
you're
he's
making, he's
everything.
making a very important
But
point,
still-
Mr. Krishna. So the point you're making is something very important. You are saying at the end of the day, it will be an NDA government led by Prime Minister Modi.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is no doubt. People have voted for Mr. Modi and BJP. And as Nirja was saying, I oppose her statement very much. Dalits are with BJP. If you see Uttar Pradesh election results also, after 3:30, 4 o'clock, you will come to know exactly. We will be crossing the maximum numbers than the India Alliance. I'm very confident. I've spoken to the people there also. And coming back to Maharashtra, yes, it was a new phenomena, and still lot many rounds of counting has to take place in Maharashtra also. And we were talking about Bihar. See, across the country, and let me make a very simple and great point today. All the parties were talking. This is a North Indian party, and South India we have not dented. Today we are leading in Kerala, we are leading in Telangana, we are forming a government in, forming a government in Andhra Pradesh, and we are leading in Andhra Pradesh, in Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu also we are opening account. What more you require?
What about West Bengal? The Prime Minister, in one of his last interviews to news agency ANI, said West Bengal is going to be the biggest success story of the BJP. There was a bitter war after the exit polls, with the TMC calling for poll strategists and pollsters to apologize, saying that it's wrong. But it does appear at this moment that it's a TMC sweep in West Bengal. Do you look at that as a setback?
Look, in certain pockets, our leadership has got great confidence. You cannot deny the confidence, but still, we have fought. We have made the vacuum of the CPM, and BJP has come to the second place there. And we are confident there also. The kind of atrocities done by the TMC, people have realized today. They might have voted now, and they will realize tomorrow. And you can see BJP blooming in West Bengal also. Why you are not talking about Odisha then? Odisha, we are blooming very well in East. We are blooming very well in East.
Okay, Odisha is an
We've
important
talked
state.
about Odisha,
Odisha
yes.
important
Huge
state,
gains for the BJP.
both assembly
Huge.
as well as parliament. It's an extremely important state, significant
Absolutely.
for the BJP. Thanks very much, sir. We will perhaps connect with you again at 4 o'clock to find out what the final numbers, when the final
Especially
numbers are, and how it plays out.
I'll be very happy, Veer Raghav. And Uttar Pradesh, we are going to do well.
Okay,
And the
Uttar
final
Pradesh,
tally,
it
you
seems
can
very
see
difficult now.
that we will be crossing, and we will be smiling too well.
All right. We'll see at 4 o'clock, sir. But for the moment, let's go across to a man who's already started smiling there, Rishika, in Andhra Pradesh, in Vijayawada. It's
Kingmaker.
all yellow there. Telugu Desam Party, Chandrababu Naidu has proven that patience pays. He waited, perseverance, and he seems to have swept that state. My colleague Aishwarya joins us from outside the TDP office in Vijayawada. What's the mood there?
Well, once we saw yellow at the stadiums where Chennai Super Kings used to win. Now today what we are witnessing, all yellow out here at Vijayawada at the TDP headquarters. Just behind me are these happy supporters of the TDP, because it's just one way which has gone in Andhra Pradesh, whether it is the assembly polls or whether it is the Lok Sabha polls. YSR CP had been defeated over here. The celebrations had begun early this morning. Chandrababu Naidu is a man who is on everyone's lips. Certainly it is the alliance that had worked here as far as the NDA is concerned, and happy faces. Joining with me are some supporters out here. This is a landslide victory, and that's what you were expecting out here?
We were looking at a great victory, that what the mandate has given from the AP people. We are very thankful to the AP people that who is going to support the senior most leader, and who is going to the build of the AP capital, and who is going to build. It's not 175. It's 75 years old man who is going to build AP, reconstructing AP now, and he is going to direct the India. It is to be going to future of India. AP is going to future of India.
So people victory. It's all people victory, and it's Chandrababu Naidu victory.
We want to say something.
It was welfare versus the development story in Andhra Pradesh. There were several schemes that were projected by Mr. Reddy. That didn't, folded as far as the Andhra Pradesh.
See, it's obvious. Always welfare schemes will not work right. There should be a certain level of development. If you see in the nation, we don't have any capital. But right now, I'm saying it very proud. Remember the name Amaravati. It will be the great capital in India. It will be a very great capital in the world too. We will build it. We are software employees. We kept leave today to come to this office to celebrate our win. For last 5 years, we are waiting very eagerly. See my eyes. We are not sleeping for many days for this victory. And we want today, we will make our AP very beautifully in the country and the world also.
Very, very happy supporters out here at the TDP headquarters. This alliance also worked. The Jan Sena, Bharatiya Janata Party, Pawan Kalyan and Chandrababu Naidu made it for sure that this alliance should happen. Do you think that this alliance?
Yes, sir. Especially we should thank Pawan Kalyan garu, honestly, because he is the one person who took initiative step for the alliance itself.
Yes.
And one thing, sir, Nara Chandrababu Naidu garu is going to be the CM of Andhra Pradesh. And
very happy supporters, and what we are getting to also know is that 9th of June is the date when Chandrababu Naidu will be taking as an oath for the Chief Minister, and this will be the 4th time that he is going to be the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh.
Rishika, no, I was just going to tell you that Chandrababu Naidu was a man who waited outside the Congress. He tried to make an alliance with the Congress and supported the Congress during the Telangana Assembly elections. He was made to wait outside the BJP. And after 25 years, as my friend Shugata Srinivasa Raju pointed out, is this going to be, what's the sense, Aishwarya, that, you're picking up from the TDP leaders there? Are they preparing not just for a role in Andhra Pradesh, but one nationally as well?
Well, certainly the supporters out here are very enthusiastic as far as the leaders are concerned. We spoke to them who were coming early in the morning at Chandrababu Naidu's residence. They were saying that it is not going to stop just in Andhra Pradesh, but they will be going to expand it, and therefore the reason perhaps the alliance of Bharatiya Janata Party and Jan Sena came together as they were looking for a larger picture working under the leadership of Prime Minister. Remember, it was such words that were used by Chandrababu Naidu against Jagan Reddy as dictatorship and all, but on the other side it is Chandrababu Naidu who also spoke that it is Prime Minister Narendra Modi who is working for the development of this country, and it is the need of an hour that Andhra Pradesh also needs similar kind of development as far as the entire country is witnessing, and therefore the reason perhaps this alliance got possible. We are getting to also know at this moment is that Chandrababu Naidu will arrive at the TDP headquarters and will address the Karyakartas. What's the plan from here on is something that Chandrababu Naidu will reveal when he will be addressing the supporters and the workers there at the TDP office. Also, Pawan Kalyan and the Bharatiya Janata Party leaders will be meeting Chandrababu Naidu this evening as well.
Alright, the TDP was reduced to 3 seats in the last election, just for context, and they are currently leading in over 16. Amitabh Tiwari, if I can come to you for just a moment, how do you look at Andhra Pradesh? It's absolutely fascinating. It's almost flipped. The vote share difference last time around between the TDP and the YSRCP was over 10%.
See, Andhra is a swing state. If you see, if you just replace the 2024 number with 2019, it was exactly the same result in favor of the YSRCP. But as Veera was mentioning, you see, if you remove the 21 seats which the BJP or NDA is getting in Andhra, the number falls to below simple majority. So the alliance in Andhra Pradesh becomes the key, and now 2 leaders. Nitish Kumar was in India, hopped on to NDA, 14 seats. TDP knocked on the doors of Congress also for an alliance, 30 seats. 30 seats, if you flip, India becomes higher than NDA. I think these 2 kingmakers.
I think Amitabh, Rishika, more than Andhra Pradesh, before we get to our...
Amitabh is trying to give a hint. What could happen and what should happen.
I think this is the story of the TDP VP Aishwarya is way beyond Andhra Pradesh.
Yes.
Given the numbers on the screens, and if these numbers hold out, Chandrababu Naidu, the man you will possibly get for an interview by the end of the day, Aishwarya, could be an extremely, extremely important political person, as Sugata Srinivasa Raju points out.
I think we leave it at that.
25 years.
Yes, we leave it at that. Aishwarya, if we can just come back to you very quickly. The discussion here, of course, is all about what Chandrababu Naidu is going to do. He's, of course, in an alliance with the BJP and the Jana Sena, but, he's no doubt, Veera, emerged as the kingmaker. Aishwarya.
Aishwarya will have to give us all the breaking news at the end of the day. Yes. Sugata, you pointed out, you said 1999, last time Chandrababu Naidu was...
1996. It started with 1996 when Deve Gowda became Prime Minister. Then again 1998, he was responsible for the removal of Deve Gowda and bringing in I.K. Gujral. Of course, that was quite historic. And that was an era of coalitions. 90s were the era of coalitions. And we may not actually see the resurgence of regional parties like we saw then, where the regional party goes on to head a coalition. It will be a major party-led kind of a thing. And it was always, the regional parties were the ones which gave a tucker to either the Congress or the BJP. Right. So that's
and TDP and Chandrababu Naidu in particular, this whole period of coalition of the United Front government and followed by the NDA government headed by Vajpayee, he was very, he had a lead role in decisions. Yes. Who will become the President of India? Who will become the Vice President of India? It was he who was navigating all that terrain. He's back after a quarter of a century. It shows you can never write off any politician in India.
Patience space.
Okay, I'm told we've got that line back with Aishwarya. So, Aishwarya, we're coming right back to you because you are where all the action is. The TDP currently leading in 16. YSRCP reduced to just 4 and the BJP.
I think, Rishika, the Andhra numbers don't matter from a national point of view. What's Chandrababu Naidu telling you? When are you going to meet him, Aishwarya?
Where is he right now and what's happening?
Well, Chandrababu Naidu is at his residence. He will be stepping out soon from his residence to come over here to greet the Karyakartas who have in attendance in large numbers. Let me show you these visuals of the TDP headquarters because the numbers speaks in itself. It is 16 for TDP, Jana Sena at 2, Bharatiya Janata Party at 3 and YSRCP reduced to 4. That's the number that speaks in itself. But a huge, it's a victory for the TDP. And remember those time where Chandrababu Naidu used to come to Delhi, sits at the Andhra Bhavan, protest there because that's the time when he quit the NDA, when he was demanding the special status for the state of Andhra Pradesh. But later again, this is an alliance that had made it possible as a landslide victory, something that we are witnessing in Andhra Pradesh as far as the NDA alliance. A huge number, half already gone. The TDP as far as the assembly segment is concerned, Lok Sabha 6 in itself is a huge number in Andhra Pradesh. But there you can see outside the TDP headquarters and supporters, Jana Sena already had.
Okay.
Aishwarya's line seems to be freezing up, but hopefully the line between Vijayawada and Delhi will not freeze up there, Rishika. I think that's an extremely important line in the coming 5 years.
Well, we're joined by Anuradha Podwal. She's a singer and a Padma Shri awardee. She's joining us. Thank you very much for being with us. We also have RP Singh, spokesperson of the BJP, joining us. We're going to slip into a very short break at this moment and we'll come right back to you to get your sense of what you're looking at this moment. Welcome back. Let's go right across to Saurabh Gupta joining us live from outside Mamata Banerjee's residence. We also have Radhika Ramaswamy joining us from Mumbai. Saurabh, to you first. The TMC at the moment is leading in 31 seats, the BJP in 10 and the Congress in 1. Mamata Banerjee had said that she will ask pollsters to apologize if the exit polls are wrong. Is she going to make that happen? What are you picking up? What's happening outside her house?
Well, the Trinamool is definitely in the mood to do so, because as you can see right now, celebrations have broken out, and this is of course what Mamata Banerjee is known for, the iconic Hawai Chappal, something that Trinamool workers always support with. So celebrations outside. Now if I can quickly go through 4 points that the Trinamool of course is working on, and why they see this as a victory, and those 4 points are very important. One of course is the Lokhir Bandar, women voters always with Mamata Banerjee. Secondly, there is of course this issue of the fact that central funds were withheld. That's something that the Trinamool built into its election narrative. That seems to have worked, with the Trinamool having paid out some of those dues from state funds. Thirdly, there is also the other thing also about there is the whole. There is also the other thing about there is also this whole thing of Trinamool. So a lot of celebration here is of course. Jai Bangla.
Okay.
All right, we'll try and go back to Saurabh in a bit. Radhika Ramaswamy also joins us from Mumbai. The other big story, one is West Bengal. The other big story is largely Maharashtra and Mumbai specifically there, Radhika.
Certainly, Mumbai specifically, 6 constituencies in Mumbai, and very neck-to-neck fight as far as at least about 3 to 4 constituencies in Mumbai are concerned. Of course, Piyush Goyal is leading as far as Mumbai North goes, and then there is Ujjwal Nikam versus Varsha Gaikwad in Mumbai North Central, which is again going neck-to-neck. It was Varsha Gaikwad leading, and now Ujjwal Nikam leading. And as far as certain Sena versus Sena seats in Mumbai are concerned, again, very, very tight contest between, Uddhav Sena as well as Shinde Sena, especially in Mumbai Northwest, Mumbai South Central as well, and in Mumbai Northeast, there's UBT Sena, Sanjay Dina Patil leading, but things are changing every 5 minutes. We're talking about close to 20-24 seats for each, for both MV as well as Mahayuti across Maharashtra. Earlier it was 24, 23, then it became 25, 24 and so on. So it is changing every 5 minutes, very tight, very different from what it was in 2019, simply because of the change in political equations, because of the split in Sena and NCP, and every time we were covering elections over in the last 5 phases, this is something that we ask the voters as to whether they're confused when it comes to casting their vote, and the Sena split, NCP split was playing in their minds. There was a sense of betrayal that even people could see through. So therefore, sympathy factor in a way working for the traditional NCP Sena, the original Sena NCP as one could call it, which is why it is beneficial for MVA. We know for a fact that in the last elections, in 2019, UPA did not win as many seats, which of course included just Congress, NCP. Now, of course, there are 6 parties that we are talking about. So MVA now, fighting really hard. All the splits perhaps working in their favor. And as far as Mahayuti is concerned, it is the BJP that has taken up the chunk of the seats, and therefore they are in fact the big brother that is sort of keeping Mahayuti afloat, with at least about 16 seats having been won, or rather in 16 seats they are leading. BJP is leading in Maharashtra. Nothing being won by NCP Ajit Pawar as yet. There is perhaps 1 seat in which he is leading, but certainly this is benefit MVA this time around, and not so much as far as NDA is concerned. But we'll again have to wait for a couple of more hours before we can call this election.
Right, we'll go across to the other corner of the country, Rishika, to the east.
Yes, and Saurabh of course is with us. But before we go to Saurabh, I just wanted to say Supriya Sule has been leading now. As far as Baramati is concerned, it was one of the most keenly watched seats. But Arvind Sawant is from Mumbai South. He's leading. It was
That's right. The largest story is that and we've been mentioning that all along, that the Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena and the Sharad Pawar NCP seems to have held
Anil
on to its
Desai
own.
is also leading, yes.
Let's go across to Saurabh as well. Saurabh, you are possibly in another sweep state, and Mamata Banerjee should be very, very happy today.
Absolutely, Trinamool supporters very happy, Joy Bangla slogans all over, Trinamool supporters celebrating outside Mamata Banerjee's home. Now, if I am to tell you the whole reason and what the reasons that the Trinamool is giving us for its victory, one is of course Lokhir Bhandar. That scheme is something that's worked. Secondly, the central funds being withheld and the Trinamool paying out dues from state funds. Thirdly, what the Trinamool says and something that they seized upon is the Prime Minister's comment on fish, something that Bengalis associate with. And the fourth, of course, is also the fact that several High Court orders that were delivered was aptly played out by Mamata Banerjee, and these were interpreted as the BJP was behind these orders. And therefore, that seems to have also resulted in this sweep. 31 seats is now what the Trinamool is leading in. Bengal has 42 seats. The BJP, of course, will be very, very unhappy with that performance. But celebrations. Joy Bangla and Abki Bar Mamata Sarkar, to borrow from a BJP slogan. This is, of course,
as well. You should have some green on your face as well, Saurabh, but I think you will have some green.
I doubt Saurabh can hear us, Veera, given the kind of noise that there is there behind him. But thanks very much, Saurabh, for joining us with that update. All TMC bigwigs leading, Saugata Roy leading, Mahua Moitra, Yusuf Pathan leading against Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary at the moment. That's interesting. Abhishek Banerjee is also leading, so very interesting.
Yusuf Pathan is slogging the slogovers there.
Kirti Azhar is also leading, by the way.
That's right. All cricketers doing very well in West Bengal. Let's go across to Anuradha Podwal. Ma'am, is there a song to define the moment that we are in? If you can give us one.
You really think after listening to all this since morning, I would be inspired to sing a song? Please spare me today.
No, but you should still try. Is there a song for this?
Not really. Can't think of anything.
Okay, but how are you looking at the numbers that you're seeing, ma'am?
Well, I think the nation is taking active interest more than all these past years. Everybody is wanting to play a part in the role of the elections.
Right.
All right. Well, democracy is thriving. I think that's all we can say at the moment.
Contest.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's just, we're going to take a very short break right now, but the numbers there on your screen. NDA at 290, BJP at 236 in terms of leads. As these firm up, it could tell
also crucially, BJP currently below 240, and that's been the number for a while as well. And the Congress had in fact crossed 100, Veera, at one point, but now
it'll be those two numbers that will be very important.
Very, very important.
We'll keep the conversation going here on NDTV, but for the moment we'll slip into a very short break.